about 2 a.m. and I'm here in my Yoni spa, and I am preparing, well, I just got finished preparing for the group booking that I have tomorrow that I am going to have assistance with. Thank you, C. Cheryl, for coming in. I honestly am so grateful that I can call someone and they show up to assist in cultivating experiences for other women. So I feel so good. I feel so honored. I feel so charged up. I just watched a beautiful, beautiful sister. Her name is AwwLexis on YouTube. And she really emphasized and reminded me what and who I am as a being in many ways that speaks about how long us as women have been holding on to fear and making fear our default self in this life when we are to be in our correct self. And I look forward to continually learning more so that I can really emphasize the beauty of this life and really be at awe at what is it to be a living goddess in this world. So I'm so grateful because I get to invite women in to really hone in their energy and to be able to tap into a different realm. Women come in here, it's like they enter a vortex, and it is the most inspiring, most awakening and loving experience that they get to really share with one another. And I'm happy that I am hosting a group, so it's going to be so delightful, and I know these women are going to receive me with a lot of joy and care. I got the teas prepared for them. I made some delicious potent tea for this Yoni Steam session with a hint of little aphrodisiac flavors. I also made some cold pressed juices for them. We got all 4 of the Yoni Steam chairs prepped and ready to go. We have a total of 6, but we're only able to use 4 because we're in this small studio space. When I do use excessive amount of electricity in one area, it ends up doing some chaotic electric fuse explosions. So I'm just like going to keep it as simple as possible and just accept 4 bookings for now. I know that I'll be able to in the future be able to house as many women in one space without electricity being a issue, because one thing for sure, we are the true electricity. And I also stocked up on some new herbs, so I know they're going to love it. I have some beautiful herbs that I blended together, like our insomnia mix, our steaming nettle mix, our PCOS mix, some fertility blends. We also have our potent goddess blends that we are going to be tapping into. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be good. The fact that I'm up at 2 a.m., making sure that everything is in place and in order just so that these women are able to experience the excellence of well-being and the intention behind this idea. I appreciate AwwLexis because, one, she reminded me that fire that I have in me has been awakened. Because of her, I am really going to go after what I definitely desire. The thing I noticed is that it really does take us to step up so that we can inspire the next person, the next sister, the next brother. Like, it takes us to say yes and to allow and to be that reflection of the Holy Spirit in us. Thank you, AwwLexis, because one girl, when I watched one of her videos and she had received her dream car, and she spoke, and I watched her testimony videos. And I'm all about the divine feminine. And a lot of us are going to experience the divine feminine in a whole different perspective. But it is all going to go towards the same energy, okay? So it will all be expressed in a similar way, but we are going to get there in different routes. So I appreciate her because she reminded me that all of our routes are not going to be different. All of our experiences are not going to be different. But what is going to be the same is the grace and the awakening of this divine feminine that is in us. What is going to be the same is knowing that we deserve so much more in life, knowing our value, knowing that it is okay to dream big, knowing that life, it is okay to break free. It is now that we shall be breaking free from any chain that holds us back, knowing that this life is a living proof of just so much exotic experiences. And I'm so grateful to be here, to know that it's up to me to say yes or no. And it is going to be such a dynamic thing to share the messages that flows through me, because wow, life is really teaching me, and I'm noticing the more that I learn, the more I am going to experience the beauty of life and the nature of our well-being. So I wanted to just leave off with that. And again, I am going to have a group in here. It's so cool to have a group in here. Like, it's such a vibe just to host a group of women in here. And yeah, I believe I'm going to be doing this a lot more. And I'm going to do it in a smarter way where I'm able to have these electricities play a harmonious part of cultivating the experience. So yeah, so with that being said, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in. I know this may or may not be a random video. Maybe this video is to help inspire someone. I've been in business for about a year. I've been in service, like a physical service, in-home service, for about a year and going on 2 years. So I am so grateful to see the evolution of my ideas that God have placed in my being. I'm so grateful. And it's just so much things that I know that I'm going to be benefiting from, because I'm choosing now to do the work, like to continue the marathon, to continue learning, to continue growing and nurturing myself. So wow, to be able to have built this up with literally nothing. Basically, I use what I got to create and alchemize that Holy Spirit in me and to get what I want. So this here, when you are able to bring yourself into this atmosphere and you see how in my mind nothing is going to stop me, and in my mind I am going to receive. Oh, it's so beautiful. Another thing that Lex really made me realize is there are levels of luxury that a lot of us may have not was accustomed to, or there are levels of youthfulness and high vibration and inspiration that a lot of us was not accustomed to while growing up. But yet the Holy Spirit, the divine feminine in us, is so graceful to let us know that, wait, even though you're not accustomed to it, you still have access. You still have the authority to experience it. You still can say, yes, I want to experience this now in my life. You know, even though if there's nobody in your life that you can look back on and say, wow, they inspire me to be like this, you can alchemize the thought about them and say, wow, they opened this door up for me to go experience who I am and want to be, you know. So thank you, Lex, because when I seen her get her G-Wagon, I was literally cheering her on behind the camera. I was like, oh my God, this is where it's at. And like, I started thinking about my dream cars. And I felt like a lot of times we have certain dreams that are, we choose certain things in more of a humble way, because maybe in our background, we come from a background that started and had to be humble, you know. And when I say humble, it's like you have to just get what you were able to get. And so I was like thinking, because usually I say that my dream car is a Jeep, and not a G-Wagon, just a Jeep Wrangler. And I feel like that's my safe choice. And I really realized I do feel like that's my safe choice, because I can get a Jeep any fucking time. If I really think about it, I can truly get a Jeep anytime if I really truly think about what a Jeep is. And I was like, well, what is a vehicle that feels like out there and it's like your dream vehicle? And I told myself, and I know what car is it, and it's a McLaren 720 Spider. And I feel that this is a vehicle that I don't know. I feel like even if you say it, maybe it sounds crazy, but this is a vehicle that is a desire for me. And I know it sounds so like, what? Especially from where I come from. Like, my parents only drove Toyotas around me. You know, so for me to even have the audacity to say this, because I was inspired by a sister named AwwLexis, and knowing that, wait, it's okay to desire these things. It's okay. These are not far-fetched things. This can truly happen for any of us. These are just material things that we have way more dominion over than it has dominion over us. So that means that access to it is available to us. And what does that look like to me? What does that mean to me when I say that out loud? How do I reflect that in my day-to-day life? How do I believe in what I just said with my own tongue? What do I need to do in my day-to-day to embody this truth? That is the question. That is my truth right there. So when y'all see me in my 720 Spider having a good old time, I also have my Jeep. No lie. I like Jeeps. I like the G-Wagons. Those are sexy. But the McLaren is just the sexy auntie vibe for me. But yes, and then I love how she spoke about speeding her process, and I truly do believe in time-space travel. And I believe that time-space travel is a thing that we actually control, right? And comprehending my form of control over these timelines, and commanding that in my mind, like, wait, I'm actually in control. And yes, I actually want to speed this process. So the way she did it, I think she said she wanted to have 6 figures in a year. And she said, she asked herself, why not just do it in a month? And when she said that, I was like, yeah. I said I wanted 6 figures in a year. Why can't I? Why not just do 6 figures in a month? Like, what? Like, how wonderful it is to do 6 figures in a month. So that right there, like, made me realize, like, wow. And I love her consistency. I love her joy. What I noticed is the joy that we shall have when we are creating and expressing ourselves. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it just needs to be authentic. And I really, really value that. So tomorrow I am going to take charge in my authenticity and in my space. And as I invite women in here to really cultivate their feminine energy through a traditional practice called Yoni Steaming, I am going to just allow the Holy Spirit to take control and just take place in my life, because I can see, so I can just see where the blockage may have happened, and I can see how I have really just removed it, and now an overflow is happening, and it is so surreal. It is so surreal, and it's like so different, because I don't know if I've had an extreme point of proof of it like the way that I am about to have now, that I'm having now in my life. So thank you so much, Holy Spirit, for this truth. Thank you so much for allowing me to have a reflection of my sister, to watch her really live out her life and her joy. And I want to show women, especially in my era, that it can happen to all of us. And it doesn't matter the age range. It doesn't matter what your past may have been. It doesn't matter if it wasn't a squeaky clean past. You are already dynamic and valuable. So, and it's really truly up to you. It's nobody else but you. So yeah, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And with love always, it is your Yoni Gatekeeper, Miss Yoni. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. As I wake up, I'm about to wake up in like 5 hours. Yeah, I'm about to wake up at 7 just so I can be like ready to go. But yes, with that being said, guys, have a good night. Bye.